Yeah.
Yeah.
So somebody's crashing this here.
Yeah.
EPMD, ASAP Rocky,
Oh, hey,
Method
John, look
Man.
up, John.
Hey,
How are you?
I can't see. Is that Sanj?
Yep.
What's up,
Yep.
buddy?
How you
How
doing,
you
pal?
doing?
Good,
How are
brother.
you?
How's everything?
Everything
I
is
can't complain. I'm blessed.
good. Good.
How
Are
you
you gonna
doing?
be out in Vegas in about 2 weeks?
In 32 years of my business, I have never attended that.
God bless you. You figured it out. You have figured it out, my friend. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I'm just,
not worth it. They called us and they wanted to bring our brand there. I said, well, I'm not interested. Maybe next year. I can't do it.
You know,
Just
I've had this conversation with other people like Charlie Minato from Half Wheel and stuff, and you start to think about what it takes to get there and put up the display and the money you spend on the travel and the hotels.
Yeah.
It almost doesn't make sense, really.
Yeah.
You know?
So the funny thing is, I always used to tell people, I said, the way we do things, the same amount of money that will cost you there, we give it out. We send like free samples to our clients.
It's the best way to build a business,
And that's where we spend the money. And you see it, today, even our stuff is #1 posted on social media all over. And that's, I guess when you put, product in people's hand, they appreciate it more than, you cater to maybe 3,000, 4,000 specific people that don't even give two shits about you.
That's the thing. Like, I remember back in the day, George Brightman told me how to build a brand. He said, sample, sample, sample. Because you got to get the product in the hands of the customer, the consumer.
Yeah. And
I'm a big believer in that. And we will. I mean, at the PCA, we'll give out between 3,000 and 5,000 cigars, which is ridiculous when you think about the cost and the expense. But
but at the same token, if you give that cigars to your top retailers, the guys, anybody comes, like that's what we do. We'll send like 2 boxes of cigars and say first 50 guys, give them free cigars.
Yeah.
And it's
sense.
actually more profitable for us that way. Because now you give them free cigars, something they never tried before. Now they like it. If you give out 50 and you get 10% return on it, you won.
100%.
Yeah, and that's the way.
It's a
We
good
never
strategy.
ever have given out to even any bloggers or anybody. We don't send out cigars. I had a lot of bloggers call me, yo, can I get your cigars? You know what I tell them? Go purchase it.
Yeah, I said the same thing. And the reason why, I tell them, I said, look, if I give you the cigar, you're going to be actually have a little bias towards giving me a good review.
Absolutely.
So just go get the cigar, support brick and mortar, buy the cigars, and then give me your honest opinion. I'd rather have that than me giving you free stuff. I've never tried to get a rating out of anybody for anything, really.
Yeah. When you come into Jersey, we got to do an event.
I would love to, man. I would love to. I was actually, I was talking to Nick Libretti up at JR, and he says, oh, fly in here, we'll do a podcast, and you can do a few events in the area, blah, blah, blah. And we've always been going back and forth and talking about it, but life just gets in front of me, man.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
So,
I understand.
At some point, though, if I get up that way, you'll be on the list for sure. I'd love to come see the shop. And I've heard great things about the cigars you're doing too.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so we did everything on the project called Kill the Industry. So our cigars, originally I manufactured the cigars in 1992.
Wow, that's even before my time.
Yeah, so in 92, the original cigars were made by Don Douglas out of Costa Rica.
Tabacalera Tambor.
Yeah, so that was actually my first guy. And then I blended cigars for Bahia. Remember Bahia? For
Tony Borani. Dude, that was like my idol back in the 90s. Like I idolized Tony Borani. I tell people today, I said, you don't understand how good like Bahia Gold was in 1998, or even the Trinidad, or Bahia, he was one of the first.
Bahia Gold, I had a lot to do with the blend.
Dude, that was in my mind. There's like 5 to 6 cigars that stand out in my memory. And Bahia Gold Robusto in 1998, I smoked it in the Opryland Hotel in the suite with Tony. And I said, that cigar blew me away. I remember exactly like it was yesterday. And that was what, 25 years ago?
I think I have some original Bahia Gold.
Amazing.
If I find it, I'm going to send you some.
Amazing cigar. I don't know if it aged out by now or not, but here's the story. We were up in there in a suite with a bunch of people, Cigar Aficionado magazine, what have you. And he was smoking a cigar with no band on it. And he gave me a Bahia Gold Robusto, and I was smoking I said, God, Tony, this thing is amazing,
Right.
right? And he says, really? He goes, he'll smoke this. Tell me what you think of this. And so we swapped cigars, and I smoked his cigar. I said, this is fucking great too. But that Bahia Gold Robusto is better than this. I said, what is this? He said, that's a Cohiba Robusto from Cuba.
Yeah.
And I thought the Bahia was better. I'll never
Yeah,
forget
yeah,
that.
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
great. Good stuff, man. Yeah, Don Douglas. I mean, that's the guy that made this cigar that really kind of kept CAO in business back in '98. We did the
Yeah.
CAO Anniversario Maduro. And
Yes.
that's really what kind of got us over the hump back in the day. And then we only had 9 months of production from that
Yeah,
cigar,
yeah.
though. And then Tony got us kicked out. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know you had a connection to
No.
there was also a guy named Victor Calvo that was in that operation as well.
Yeah, Victor Calvo.
Yeah.
Yeah, Victor Calvo, of course.
Sure.
Of course, I know them all. Yeah, so our first cigar was actually the first mass-produced cigar, not mass-produced, but boutique and that we brought to US.
Right.
SP 1014 Black was the first one that Don Douglas made.
Okay.
And then from there, we had an issue. So we moved to UST.
Mhm.
And at the time, UST had a guy named Bent Arm, who's a master blender, phenomenal guy. He's still alive. He's in DR. He does coffee now.
Okay.
And Bent and I sat and I said, Bent, I need to do this. So Dixon Farrington was the president of UST at the time. And Dixon and I were, friends. And he's like, look, we'll help you out. So we did it. So we, at the UST, we made a cigar called SP 1014 Red, which was the Talanga wrapper.
Okay.
And if you look at now, the Talanga, Astral Talanga, that was all my design. Actually, if you look at the same 652
Mhm.
with the pigtail and a closed foot, and it came wrapped in a banana leaf with just a twig, that was all my design, but they
That's
liked it
interesting.
so much. I said, you keep it. And then from there, they sold it to Thomas Hines. So we couldn't do business out of Canada. So
Thomas
then we
Hines.
went to, then we opened up our own stuff. And
Mhm.
that cigar company today is called PDR. So originally the PDR Apes Factory, I was the original owner. Me and this guy Juan was the original owner of that company.
Okay.
We
I
started
never
it.
knew
We
that. Okay.
We were making SP 1014s out of there. And then, Ape came in and, I have issues with morals, ethic, and principles. So we left. And
Mhm.
then I went to Jose at La Aurora. And
Mhm.
then they couldn't give me what I wanted. I guess they were too busy at the time. So we respectfully, 2009, late 2008, early 2009, I said, we're not going to make the cigars. We're just going to take it off. And then about 7 years ago, I was on a blog. I've been on like 1,300 blogs all over the world.
Mhm.
And we were talking about, and people like, why the cigars, costing the way they're costing? And I simply said, look, it's, mainly manufacturers' greed. Most of it is all greed. And then we decided, I just announced it was actually TLE podcast, Erica and Amy. And I said, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to revise all our cigars. And all our cigars are at 1992 pricing.
Damn.
It's a SP Red, which is the Dominican Corojo Puro,
Mhm.
right? Which is weighed 5 times, age full year after it's made. And every single cigar, we guarantee it. That was our thing in 90s. And that cigar was $8, $8.50, and $9 today. It's the same price.
Wow.
The Black, Eladio and I are friends for over 25 years.
Mhm.
And when Eladio was retiring, 2 years prior to it, I contacted her. We had meetings and stuff. And I said, this is my plan. And he said, let's do it. So we already had made the cigars before he even retired. And then within few months, him retiring, we released the SP Black. So out of Eladio's factory, SP Black was the first cigar that Eladio put it out. And that cigar was $9, $10, $11, and $12. And today it's the same exact price.
Jeez. That's crazy. Eladio's got a new factory though, right? He's got
Yeah.
he's doing that Freud cigar or whatever, something like
Yeah,
that.
that's same place out of where he
There
makes
you go. Okay.
SPs. Yeah. Freud, that and Luis Torres' cigar. Yeah. So, all that comes out of same factory. He's in the new Zona Franca building.
Yeah, he's near Ernie. He's near
Yeah.
near
Yeah.
Ernesto.
Ernie's
Yeah.
few doors down. Yeah.
In fact, Eladio's son, Emmanuel, used to,
Yeah.
we were good friends. He used to work for Ernie and then he's went over to
Yeah.
work for his dad, but we still
Yeah.
keep in contact, we keep in touch.
Yeah.
Small world, man. Small world.
Yeah.
It's
So,
crazy.
I'm on retail end because I'm disabled on paper. I just refuse to take that title. So I
Mhm.
used to race cars, and my left side is basically all bionic.
Oh, really? Okay.
I can't do much. So I said, you know what? I grew up in cigar business as a kid. My family has cigar business and stuff. So I opened up 1992. I opened up a cigar shop, and that's where we were selling our SPs out of.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
at that time, we were selling without internet, without anything. We were selling close to 1 million cigars a year.
Jeez. That's a
And then-
number. That's a number today, even,
Yeah.
really, you know?
Yeah, even today, like, look, when we launched the SP Red in 2022, right? Our first batch, we had 80,000 cigars sold in like 2 weeks. Black, 80,000 cigars, we sold it in 3 days.
Jeez.
So from January of this year to now, we have sold almost 300,000 cigars so far.
That's crazy.
And we only doing business with 40 shops in the US.
That's the way to do it, man.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it, you know?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations on that success.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fantastic,
Have
man.
you smoked any of my stuff?
Have not, man. I've seen it here and there and I've heard about it. But I have not smoked any of it. I haven't had the pleasure. I mean, my life is like, I'm like in a hole, man. Like if I'm not here in this warehouse, I'm at home being a husband and a father or trying to, you know,
Yeah.
so I don't,
So,
the
Innocent,
only,
get his address and everything,
Yep.
and then give it
I'll
to
take-
Rob, and we'll ship you out stuff.
I would love to
Okay.
try it, man. I would love
Yeah.
to.
Yeah,
It'd
absolutely,
be a pleasure. Thank you. I appreciate that.
absolutely, my
course.
pleasure, brother. You know, good.
Yeah.
So you guys continue, carry on, and you're in a good hands with Innocent.
All right, man.
Yeah.
I look
Yeah,
forward to it.
this
It's been
this
fun.
is
You
my
got it, brother.
that's my sensei right there.
Very good.
Yeah,
Sounds
yeah.
good
All right,
talking to you,
enjoy,
man.
guys. Here's Rob,
All right.
and
All right,
Rob will
have a
ship
good
you
one.
out cigars. All
All
right.
right, cheers.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Got it, brother.
Appreciate
God
you.
bless.
God bless
All
you as
right.
well.